PA Democrats. I am so proud to be standing here before you as a Southwest candidate for our highest office on the Supreme Court. And I differ from my colleague in a couple respects. First of all, I think experience does matter. Qualifications do matter. Let me tell you why I think I'm the most qualified and most electable candidate. First off, I have 17 years of judicial experience. I served for 12 years on the Court of Common Pleas in Beaver County, where I was the first woman elected to that office. I then was retained, thank you, I won a retention election in 2015. And in 2017, with your help, I won a race for the Supreme Court, or excuse me, for the Superior Court. I went to Supreme Court this time. I won a race for the Superior Court, where I have now proudly served for the last 6 years on your appellate court, where I've decided nearly 3,000 appeals. I also have the most diverse experience. I've decided not only criminal and civil cases, but also our important family law cases and juvenile cases. I also served for 8 years as the county solicitor in Beaver County, so I have a government experience. So as a candidate with the most judicial experience and the most diverse experience, let me tell you why that matters. We're going against a Republican woman who has served for 13 years. Dan has served for 9. I've served for 17. She served as a deputy county solicitor. I served as the chief county solicitor, so I can match her qualifications. Let me tell you why I'm the most electable. You've heard it here several times this morning. We can't just run strong and win Philly and Allegheny County. Those two counties, obviously, for the Democrats are critical. And we better win and win big in those counties, right? But we need a candidate who's going to appeal to the electorate throughout the rest of the 65 counties. And I did that when I ran the last time. And I will do it this time. Why? Because I'm finally giving candidates outside of those cities a candidate that they can back. I'm from Beaver County. I relate to those voters. And that's what makes me more electable. But let's look at this. History has shown that in our last 3 election cycles, we elected 13 appellate judges. 11 of them were women. It also shows us that if given the choice between a Democratic man and a Republican woman, the voters 3 out of 4 times went with the Republican woman. And who are the Republicans putting up? A Republican woman. That's not a chance I was willing to take. I was not willing to gamble the Democratic majority on our Supreme Court by putting up a Democratic man who has less years qualification than the Republican woman. And that's why I'm in this race. Also, I want this job. I am very passionate about being a judge and making a difference in our Commonwealth with my decisions. This is our highest court. They decide the most significant issues. We're in the post-Dobbs era. Women's rights will be the #1 issue on the ballot.
Yes, it will.
It was in 2022. It will continue to be in 2023. We need to elect our most qualified and our most electable candidate. And I believe I'm that candidate. And so when you're choosing your nominee for the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, I ask you to remember Judge Debbie, she's ready.
Under time. Thanks, Judge. We're going to move on to the